It's a beautiful summer day here in Connecticut as we're at Silver Lanes in East Hartford as CPTV Sports gets set to present the New England Bowlers Association August tournament. Alongside my partner Don Harger, Brian Irizarry on hand with you. And before we dive into the final four semifinalists, before we get to the championship, Don, this has been a bowling alley that's had some issues for some former past champions.
Well, the uniqueness of this shot came through today. It was very difficult to get to the pocket, and once you were in the pocket, it was difficult to carry. So you had to really keep your mental game really sharp and to be patient. It only took 210 average to make it through the finals.
Well, the good news is Don knows a couple of the guys in the semifinals. In the first round, we'll have Chris Viale and Billy Webb, the two guys that you know fairly well.
I'll tell you what, and they're very good friends too. They bowl on the same exact team at the USBC Nationals. They came in 4th place in the whole country this year. They came in 5th place the year before. It's going to be fun to watch these two guys go at it. They're real close.
In the second semifinal, we got a rookie. This has been his best start, and Derek Cam, but he'll have to try to knock down a former champion in Miles Copeland. How does the youngster do it?
I'll tell you, well, Miles Copeland was the top leader today, the pin leader. So it's going to be tough for Derek to come through. He's going to have to be sharp. He's going to have to find out where the shot is very soon and make the best of it and try to put a little pressure on Miles.
Well, one of these four bowlers will add another trophy to their trophy case at their house. We'll find out who will be next right here on CPTV Sports. And here's a nice cruise on inside of Silver Lanes here in East Hartford, Connecticut. One of the most unusual bowling alleys that I've ever been in, Don, as I've only seen lanes on one side. And when you come on in, you got an option. You got to either go left or you got to go right.
So sometimes you have to maximize your space, right? As soon as you walk in the door here, you've got a concourse right in front, and you've got lanes to your left, lanes 1 through 20, and you got lanes to your right, lanes 21 through 52. So it's kind of a unique bowling center here, and it's almost like two separate bowling centers when you're a tournament bowler, because each side has special characteristics. I think they say lanes 1 through 20 actually hook a little bit less than the right side does.
Now, when you're a part of NEBA, how do they decide, what side to choose on? Because I think earlier today when I got here, you had said to me that the guys had to shoot one game on that side and then come back to this side.
Yeah, so they actually designated the right-hand side of this bowling center for the tournament. But last night they had so many entries, they had to put 6 lanes open on the left-hand side. So some guys had to qualify or at least bowl a game over there to qualify and then come over to the right side. Some guys had to go from the right to the left. And another reason why you have to be very experienced and know your equipment so you can adapt very quickly at these different lane conditions.
Well, let's get right into the semifinals here as we have a matchup between Bill Webb right here and Chris Viale. Webb on his first throw winds up leaving up 1 pin.
Billy starts off with a solid 9 pin, and that's really a tap in bowling. It's a bad break, but he's so calm, cool, and collective. I'm sure he'll pick this spare up and begin the second frame.
And he's able to get that one to go on down and pick up the spare. It was Viale on a strike on his first approach.
Now, as I mentioned before, these guys are close friends. They bowl on the Cambridge Credit Counseling team, and they've gone to the USBC Nationals. They've placed very high with their team event. And Chris Viale, being the president and CEO of Cambridge Credit Counseling, they supported a lot of bowling events. They're PBA event sponsors. They sponsored college bowling, USBC Collegiate. There's even an invitational tournament early in 2013. So Cambridge Credit Counseling does a lot of great things for the bowling community here in Connecticut.
Webb on his second approach, able to explode through and get a strike. And you had mentioned these two guys are friends. And when you're going head to head, do they kind of just check their friendship, right before you step onto the lane, or what is it like?
You would think they would, right? But I know these two guys personally, and not that they're wishing that the other person beats them, but they're not wishing anything bad on the other person. What's cool about bowling, there's no defense, right? So it's you against the pins, it's that other guy against the pins, and whoever wins, wins. And these guys are really tight, close friends. I'm sure they each want to win, but
Viale's ball plows right on through and winds up leaving 4 pins on up.
That's the 2-4-8-10 split. What happens is Chris missed a little bit to the right. We're going to see it right here. He's a little bit to the right. The ball won't make it back all the way. It comes behind the head pin, and he gets this bad break. This is an ugly looking split, but it's not too difficult to make. You've got to hook the ball hard, and you've got to cross over the 2 pin, hit the 2-4. That's what he's going to try to do, but he didn't get there, so he got 3.
So you're hoping on that you might get a kickback across and to get that final pin.
Yeah, when you cross over the 2 pin in front of the 2 pin, if you can just make the 2-10, the ball will take out the 4-8. So even it's an ugly split, but I've seen it made quite often. But Chris, you know, he got 9. It's the best he can do, and he's going to try to regroup.
He's had a thumb injury since the 32-man section of this NEBA August tournament. And a couple of the guys on this tournament here is we'll have the big split here. You were telling me a little bit about some sort of nail remover. It's like a nail remover and it stings, then you got to put some sort of Band-Aid on top of it. It's on his right thumb, and you know it's been bleeding the entire time, but he keeps going.
So when you're a bowler and you bowl in tournaments, you bowl a lot of games every day, you're going to get battle scars. And one of the things is you kind of blister up on your thumb. And as you bowl, your finger swells a little bit. The room in that thumb hole gets a little less and less. So you're blistering, your thumb is getting bigger, and he just took the top layer of skin right off. So he started to bleed. He was bowling in the semifinals, and you really don't want to do too much different, anything different. So you're just trying to get through that match. He made it through the match. Once the match was over, he put a product called New Skin on his thumb. So it's kind of like nail polish remover in the fact that it stings like crazy on an open wound. But if you put that on, it gets a little sticky. Then you put this very thin layer of gauze on your thumb, and then you put layers of this product gauze, until you stop the bleeding, and you can actually resume bowling. And that's what he did. So I don't think there's anything, you know, he's not bleeding right now profusely like he was in that one game.
When we first saw him.
But I have to tell you, it's not fun. You still have the, I mean, it's sore and it burns. And so when you bring the ball back in your backswing, you feel like there's a lit match right on your thumb.
Well, there's money on the line.
Yeah, well, maybe he's just putting that all aside.
Webb able to come up with a big strike. He's looking for his 14th title. He's been bowling 19 years.
Great shot.
He's starting to feel it now. And last time we were out, you kind of taught me a lot about the game, but with the dots on the approach, it looks like he just stays straight and kind of comes up to the lane very straight, and then does this kind of jerk motion towards his left, and then releases with his right hand.
Billy has one of the cleanest games I've ever seen. He's able to stay pretty straight on the foul line. He doesn't have to walk extreme left to extreme right. He's got the speed, he's got the revs, he's got everything he needs to be very successful.
And there's Viale coming up with a big strike, and his approach, and we'll see it here, when he comes on up, it's kind of he slides to the left, and then he comes through with the right hand.
Chris Viale has timing mechanisms in his approach. He actually starts his walk, and then he kind of goes to the left, and he has this little timing mechanism to where his arm swing has to fall in place with the rest of his body. He's been doing it for years, and he's phenomenal at it.
So the timing mechanism is similar to the classic timing mechanism of Kevin Youkilis, formerly of the Red Sox, where he slides that right hand up and down the bat, and then right when the pitch is about to be delivered, he brings his hands together.
Exactly. Anything to get you comfortable. That's a great shot right there.
And big ball.
And I don't care, Chris shot the split early and he has an open in the second and third frame. He's never out of a match if there are frames left. He's that good.
Well, one of these guys going to move on, as you can see on the replay here. Finally getting out of the way, and the fist pump. He's got that old school, like, rocker attitude. He's pumped up about what he's doing, but the winner of this will move on to face The rookie in the semifinals, and Derek Ham, rookie meaning that he's never had a title, against Miles Copeland. There's Webb, and he didn't have as much velocity as he did the last two frames.
That was a great break right there. If you notice, Billy looked right down at the floor. He either skidded or his feet got a little bit fast and it threw him off balance a little bit. Because right when he threw the ball, he looked down.
Yeah.
And he was lucky to leave the 9-pin relatively easy spare.
Now, since you know everything, what is this contraption that he's wearing on his forearm? Or is he just injured with the forearm, or is it something that's going to help him down the road?
You know, it's funny. Bowlers are like other athletes where they have this crutch. I think he has a little tendonitis in his right arm or elbow, and that apparatus right there actually just keeps the leverage a little bit more balanced in his arm, so he's able to bowl a lot of games and not really feel the pain with that tendonitis.
So it'd be kind of like a tennis elbow, you know, where you have the contraption up near the elbow, or even on your right below your knee.
Exactly. You know, both of my leagues I bowl in, Billy bowls in the 2 leagues. He averages 246 at Circle Lanes. That's unheard of. It's ridiculous. And I would say normally that's just, it's impossible. But if you watch Billy bowl and you know his demeanor, he's never upset. He's just the same emotion the whole time. His approach is so fluid and solid. His arm swing is perfect. He's the one guy I can say probably could average 246.
Great shot. Great ball there. He got the velocity back. As he comes up, another strike.
Now, Billy was just inducted into the Central Connecticut Association Hall of Fame, which is a great honor. He had to wait because you can't be inducted until you're 40 years old. I think he accumulated enough points years ago, but he actually had to wait until he turned 40 to be inducted, so we want to congratulate him on that.
So it's like a prize when you turn 40, instead of being like,
it's an
hey,
eligibility.
you reached 40.
Yep.
And instead of all things going downhill, here's congratulations, you're now a Hall of Famer.
Exactly, and boy does he deserve it.
Here's Viale. Oh, shimmy to the left, comes back at the right, and leaves half the rack up.
Again, I don't know how much that thumb is bothering him. He's probably not going to admit it, but it stings. See him looking at it right there? It stings very, very much. And you feel it in different parts of the shot. You can push the ball away and not feel it, but then as soon as you get to the top of your backswing, all of a sudden, it's like a lit match on your thumb.
Because once you're releasing the ball, it's kind of like peeling another layer of skin down.
Exactly. So he's probably chewing on his bottom lip just to make good shots here. He's going to leave another open. Billy knows that he's not at his best also, so you have to feel for the other bowler, especially when you're friends. So I'm looking at the sheet here. Billy's got 65 300 games and 4,800 series. That's incredible. But the thing I like most about Billy Webb, he's a fellow Miami Dolphins fan. Got to put that out there.
Football season on the cusp. It's a nice close-up of Viale and the concentration. Good ball. He gets them all to fall. And it didn't have that explosive nature, but it got the job done.
So right now, Billy's up about 30 pins on Chris, but Billy knows he cannot relax here because Chris, if you give him any sort of life or any window, he's going to jump on it.
So Billy Webb out of Guilford, Connecticut. The far drive for him up here to East Hartford. Shot up 91, depending on the traffic. Nice follow through, and we get a big strike.
That's a great shot. He throws 2 more of those, and this match is over. Also want to mention Chris Viale. He's got 60 300 games as a righty, and he has 2 left-handed.
Yeah, I saw him. His right thumb was bleeding so much that it was his next turn, and I think this was in either the rotation of 32-man or 16-man, and he switched hands, and I'm like, all right, I can throw a football left-handed, but like 6 yards. And he wound up getting it down there. I don't even know if he got a strike, but it was a good shot.
Yeah, he actually made the spare. But what's funny about the NEBA tournament, you can switch like that. When you're in a USBC sanctioned league or a tournament, you have to finish the match with whatever hand you bowled in. Because if you want to sanction yourself right-handed and left-handed, it's like two separate people, because you'll establish a handicap, one for lefty and one for righty. So even though you're the same person, it's like you're two different people. But in this tournament, it allows you to go ahead and make shots with either hand if you have to.
And here's that spare ball that I saw him throw in warm-ups, and he just threw it. And there weren't any pins up, he just threw it.
Yep, this is a spare ball. It's plastic. It's made to go very straight. You're going to see it's not going to hook it off. Billy's going to get 9 for that frame, and that's the best he can do. But I'll tell you what, he's got to be concerned right now, because Viale, if he goes off the sheet, he's going to give Billy some trouble.
Well, Viale won the 1992 College National Bowling Championship out of William Patterson University down in New Jersey. I got an ex-girlfriend that used to work down at William Patterson, so we'll give them a shout out.
Chris Viale has finished 3rd in the High Rollers, which is another national tournament. And like you said, he's got the Collegiate National Championship under his belt. Under his name on the back of his shirt, you could see USA, so he definitely bowls all over the world.
And he's waiting for the reset of the rack, and you see Joe Nadeau coming on in, helping out. Running these tournaments for NEBA. We saw him last time CPTV's coverage of the NEBA tournament earlier in the summer. Viale trying to battle on back here against Webb. Big strike right there.
Yeah, that's a great shot. It just shows you what these people are made of. And he's got the thumb injury going on, but he's bowling against a veteran in Billy Webb. And you cannot give your opponent any kind of opportunity to beat you. So here it is, 7th, 8th frame. He throws strikes. You got to put those frames behind you when you do have the open. And right now, he throws this one. He's just about back in it.
So Don, you're saying this is the make or break shot.
Well, he's got a 210.
I heard that. You said
Yeah.
it. You said it. You tiptoed around it. I'll say it for you.
Oh, thanks. He has a possible 210 if he strikes out in the 9th and 10th frame, which is definitely going to make Billy stay clean, throw marks in the 9th and 10th. That's a
There's
great
the
shot.
energy right there by Viale. And he gets the big strike and a fist pump on a finish. The congratulations, slap 5 from Webb. And you know a lot of these guys, I just come on in and I pick somebody out. And I'll be honest with you, I picked out Viale from his energy.
I'll tell you, it's classic for bowling. This is like watching Don Sutton against Ron Guidry or something. You know, the two of the best that do it. These are two of the best bowlers that New England has right here. And this is a great, great TV final.
So let's see how Webb responds. Nice soft ball. And that 9 pin has been his Achilles heel. Well, that's a 10 pin. That corner, I should say, has been his Achilles heel here in the semifinals.
From what people told me all tournament long, it was challenging enough to get the ball into the pocket. When you got the ball into the pocket, it was equally challenging to carry all those pins. Like I said earlier, it only took 210 to make it into the semifinal round. So patience, experience, and it's not easy for these guys to throw 210 game and be happy about it. Normally they're pretty upset.
And Webb able to get the spare. Yeah, that plastic ball just goes straight and it flies right down the lane.
Exactly. Well, this will tell you what a string of strikes will do. Like I said, Chris can still shoot 210. Billy needs to stay clean. He needs to mark in the 10th frame to make sure he can win.
Grab a deep breath as clean the ball on off. He's starting to sweat.
This is where Billy's the best, though. I mean, all the pressure is on this shot, right? Taking his time. Doesn't appear nervous. He's gonna go when he's ready to go. Probably saying to himself, keep my feet slow, keep my arm swing loose. That's all. And
Yeah,
watch the shot.
I've seen a couple times where he's looked on down. And there it is again, that 10 pin. As he stayed straight on through, he kept his head up, kind of like a quarterback in a pocket. And even though the chaos is going on around him, he just kept straight on, but he wasn't able to finish on through with that strike.
We don't have the benefit of seeing how fast that ball was. I think he may have thrown that a little bit harder than the others, and it didn't quite finish hard enough.
Wait, timeout. There's bowling alleys that tell you how fast you throw?
Of course, yeah.
Really?
They're actually scores that tell you where you threw the ball, where it was at the arrows, where it was at the break point. This is high-tech stuff here.
And he gets it. We're going to hang out a little more often. I want to find out one of those places, see how fast I can throw a bowling ball.
So now that you've been doing these with me, have you gotten to a bowling center and have you gotten out there and tried to
I've
bowl?
been to a bowling center. As I told you, one of my best friends owns Fishkill Bowl in Fishkill, New York, but I have yet to bowl.
Oh, God, you got to get the pair of shoes, get a ball, and get out there.
They've been trying to get me to join a league for a while, but it's a commitment thing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you really got to commit for, what is it, like
36 weeks.
36 weeks.
Yeah.
You know how much my schedule changes week to week?
You're too important, right?
Nah, I just travel a lot.
Well, you can become a sub on a team.
Okay.
So when you're
See,
in
look
town,
at you. I knew you had an answer for everything.
See, Billy didn't like that shot either. He knew
He didn't
pulled
like
it
that
left.
shot, but he leaves one pin up and it almost fell down.
But if you look at the score, 212, all he needed was 211. So he made it through. Best Chris can do is 210 if he strikes out. So Billy moves on to the finals. There's Chris right there, too.
And how frustrating is that if he's able to finish on through and come up, 2 pins short? They look back at earlier frames.
Yeah, you do. You look at the second, third, and sixth frame, and you say to yourself, geez, one of those mistakes, if I don't make it, I win the match. But he'll be here again. He's got plenty of experience, and oof. There's a bad break. Stone 710. Up, here he goes, left-handed. Let's see what he looks like. I'd be falling over. It's good.
And wrong sport. And the crowd likes it, though. A good semifinal here as Bill Webb will move on and to play the winner of Derek Ham and Miles Copeland. And there you can see it. It's Bill Webb moving on. He's looking for what would be his 14th title in his career as a bowler. We'll take a quick break here on CPTV Sports. We come on back. We'll have the second semifinal here from Silver Lanes in East Hartford, Connecticut.